Okay, so have you heard about this battery that's powered by nuclear waste? It sounds crazy, right? Like something out of a movie, but it's actually real. And it could totally change how we think about energy. I mean, think about it. We're talking about using something that we consider dangerous to create something beneficial. It's pretty mind-blowing. So you're probably wondering, how does this even work? Well, it's kind of a clever combination of two things we already use. Scintillator crystals and solar cells. You know those solar cells that capture light and turn it into electricity? Well, scintillators emit light when they're exposed to radiation. So basically, the radiation from the nuclear waste hits these crystals. They light up, and the solar cells capture that light, and bam, you've got electricity. Now, they've already built a prototype, and they've tested it with a couple different radioactive isotopes, like cesium-137, and that one generated about 288 nanowatts. But then they tried cobalt-60, which is a much stronger isotope, and they got a much bigger output, like 1.5 microwatts, which is enough to power a small sensor. I know those numbers sound tiny, and they are, but this is just the beginning.
The researchers think they can scale this up, like way up. Imagine like powering a street light, or even like a whole house, just using waste that's sitting around. And get this, different radioactive isotopes, they emit different kinds of radiation. Some are way more powerful than others. That's why the cobalt-60 gave them so much more power than the cesium-137. Okay, so let's talk about safety, because I know nuclear stuff can sound scary. But the cool thing about this battery is that it's actually safe to touch. There's no radioactive material inside the battery itself. It's just using the radiation from a separate source. Think of it like this. You can use the heat from a fire to boil water. Putting the water in the flames, it's like that. The energy gets transferred. But the danger's contained. Plus, these batteries, they'd probably be used in places where there's already radiation, like in space, or at those nuclear waste storage sites. So they already have ways to handle that safely. But what I find really exciting is that this could be a huge win for sustainability. I mean, we're talking about turning nuclear waste, something we've always seen as a problem, into a source of clean energy.
That's a total game changer. And these batteries, they're not like your phone battery. These things are built to last. We're talking years, maybe even decades of continuous power without having to replace them. So think about it. Remote sensors out in the middle of nowhere, monitoring like bridges or pipelines, or deep space probes, exploring other planets, or even underwater vehicles, mapping the ocean floor, all powered by a single battery. Using waste that we used to just bury. It's kind of wild. Of course, there's still some challenges, like figuring out how to scale up production so these batteries can actually be affordable. And they're still doing research to see exactly how long these things will last out in the real world. But you can't deny the potential. Imagine a future where nuclear waste isn't something we have to hide away, but it's actually a valuable resource, a resource that can help us create a cleaner, more sustainable world. It's a pretty amazing example. How science and innovation can take something we thought was a problem and turn it into a solution. It makes you wonder what other breakthroughs are out there, just waiting to be discovered. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for listening.